Lads, I did it. I'm finally wearing pants after many reactions to Gurren Lagann and most of our other content. I'm not wearing my PJs. I'm actually dressed up. I know. It's a miracle. Oh, I was not expecting to be making a video today. I was planning on doing this later, but I'm sorry. I have like my webcam, or I have my camera and my other recording like set up, so I'm looking at myself in the eye, but I should be looking at the webcam. I'm still not used to doing these Q&As, which I should be. I mean, after like there's like 235 videos on this channel right now. I should be used to talking to the camera, but we'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, this is the second Gurren Lagann Q&A. It's not really Q&A. It's more questions and answers. No, that's what it's me responding to your comments in video format, because you guys leave a lot of comments, and I'm touched. I love seeing you guys like have the comments on there. And Micaiah, Anthony, and I we talk about your comments in like in our other videos, like in our Gravity Falls and our Avatar stuff. We talk about your comments, and I'm like, well, we gotta like spread the love. We gotta show that we see what you guys are saying, even though I respond to most of them. Of course, this is tagged onto the beginning of episode 21, I think, of Gurren Lagann. So all you're gonna have there's a timestamp. If you don't want to see this section, just go to the timestamp, and that's where you'll actually start the reaction portion. I have no idea how long this is going to be. There are a lot of comments, so let's just get right into it. I'm waiting for Dragon Maid Season 2 too, especially because it's my second favorite anime. First one, of course, is Gurren Lagann. Winky W happy face. Golden thing? You have fantastic taste in anime. No, we've never seen a gunman come to someone like that before, but we do know that gunmen respond in strange ways to humans, like the repairing or regenerating drills. Also note that there is an OVA type thing called parallel works that exist. Most of them are just for fun, but number 8 is the Spiral King's backstory, so you should watch that after the show is over. You notice some stuff about Guam and his interactions with the Spiral King, so there is some information in the parallel works 8 that you'll want to see. I am interested in watching the OVAs. I'm not sure if I'll react to them on the channel, because from what I understand they're all subbed, and doing sub reactions is a lot harder than doing dub reactions. I mean, reacting to things is hard, am I right? But you know, I am interested in checking out the parallel works. So at the very least, I might watch them and then just talk about them. But I don't know if there's enough people like saying that they want reactions to the parallel works. Yeah, I'll probably just do a reaction. Also, the movies. From what I understand, the movies look like retellings of the show. I'm again clarifying in the comments down below what the movies for Gurren Lagann are. But yeah, I'm super interested in actually checking out the OVAs for this, because Lord Genome, definitely an interesting character. I mean, he's a floating head now. What else can I say? I actually have a link to a playlist that has every parallel work. There are 15. As well as a link to a video that is just all 15 combined into one. There is actually a good amount of Gurren Lagann content. There is one manga adaptation, 2 Gurren Lagann AU mangas, 1 gag manga, 1 hilarious spiral video the Japanese voice actors did at a panel, and 2 movies. The movies are condensed versions. Oh! Yeah, you see, I'm reading this right now. I kind of broke the illusion of the comment being read. You see, this comment was left 4 weeks ago. I responded to it. I forgot. Let me finish reading the comment. The movies are condensed versions of 27 episodes with some new different scenes. I'm kind of obsessed with this anime. LMAO. Well, this is a good anime to be obsessed over, and boy, that monkey brain, me. Yeah. Okay, so you know, it's funny that this comes right after when I said help out with the movies. This is not like scripted or anything. I kid you not. I was just reading that comment. I'm like, okay. Let's see. Let's read through these comments. Monkey brain. Well, thanks for answering my question. I'm glad you like Virum. He's a really cool character. And Gem Lads? Sounds like I gotta watch that last video to understand the new channel name. XD. Okay, yeah, Viral. He's one of the characters I've had some like back and forth with Gurren Lagann. This is episode 13, so I'm trying to see in the context of like my mindset back in those episodes. But Viral kind of, like, with him then and there, it's more like, I mean, why? Why is he still, like, my mindset there, I thought he died when Adina died. I thought he got blown up in the ship. So when I saw him alive near the end of that episode, I was like, I mean, okay. But now, where I'm at with Gurren Lagann now, I'm like, Viral, yes, more. I really am enjoying his character a lot more, so I'm glad that he didn't get killed off. And I'm just, like, he's the character that I think my opinions changed the most over throughout watching, because I just didn't expect what they were going to do with him. I mean, I don't expect, I try and expect what's going to happen in the show. I try and make up, like, my predictions, but this show just, like, nope. You thought this, we're going to go the complete opposite way. Also, the Jam Lads. For anyone that hasn't seen our hour-long tier list on ranking jam types, I do not blame you if you did not watch that. But yeah, the Jam Lads, it's like an anagram? No, it's not an anagram. It's like that one fancy thing. J stands for Josh, A stands for Anthony, M stands for Micaiah. So, Jam. You know, it's all our names turned into one, and I made a new logo. That's the watermark you've been seeing for all of our content since we posted the video. So yeah, it's, you know, we kind of the good, the Chad, and the Saint. While we did like that name, it was just very, very long. So we just decided, you know, why don't we shorten it up and let's make it a little more personal in the sense of it's a part of all of our names. And you know, I was just kind of thinking like, Josh, Micaiah, Anthony, take the initial. And I was like sitting on my couch thinking, listening to music, like, Jam! We are Jam! And of course the lads includes you, because you know, we aren't anything without the fan base of the channel. All 185 of you at the moment of recording. But yeah, I mean, we always just wanted to keep the lads in there, and now they are actually a part of the name. So I hope you guys do enjoy the new name. I actually like it a lot more than all of our other names that we've had. Just because it's a lot shorter, it comes off better, it's easier to type, and you know, I think the logo came out pretty good. I like the name, but you all definitely have to settle on something XD. This is like what? Name 4, XD. He's definitely top 5 for me. Why you gotta call us out, man? Yeah, I mean, we've gone through what? The good, the Chad, no, the good, the thick, and the Saint. The good, the Chad, and the Saint. The Jam Lads. Oh no, the lads, the good, the Chad, and the Saint. The good, the thick, and the Saint. No, the good, the thick, and the, oh my god, there's so many. The lads, the good, the thick, and the Saint. The good, the Chad, and the Saint. The Jam Lads. So this is named. Dang, you've been keeping count. Nathan Jackson, I'm impressed. But yeah, this one is the one that's gonna stay, I promise. Alright, now the real fun begins. That comment right there after this hype episode 15. Episode 15 at the time was probably the most hype episode of Gurren Lagann that I saw. And it's just, you leave that comment and now I just need to binge the rest. Cause I do segments when I binge. I binge like 4 episodes, 3 to 4 episodes in a segment. When that table goes up, it goes up, and I use it. So he left that comment, and I had stopped my binge on number 15 because I thought this is a great place to end. You know, it has that finality to it, and then he leaves this comment like, oh, now I just need to hurry up and binge the rest. Skynet with the same thing. Time for the real highlight of the show to begin. Like, when I'm reading these comments, I'm like, what the heck are they talking about? Like, it gets better? And oh my god, it got better. It got so much better. First part done. So good. Lord Genome is so cool. Maybe my favorite character. And just so you know, the new body for real doesn't buff his piloting ability. They don't produce spiral energy, so tiring doesn't affect their gunmen. They're solar powered, hence the having to retreat at night, other than some bigger ones that can store power like the hot springs. Also, same intro song, verse 2 though. Just new animations. Did you just spoil? So,
Yeah, like I don't think that was a spoiler. I'm fairly certain that they like explained it a little bit, but I might have missed it. But yeah, it does make sense that the gunmen are solar powered, and that's why they always retreat at night. I just completely missed that fact because I don't know, my monkey brain was too busy looking at the pretty explosions to listen to the audio of what was happening, I guess. But no, I don't think that counts as a spoiler. I know they do explain it later on, probably with like episode 19 or 21. I think they explain like Beastmen and Gunmen, but I think this is just a natural conclusion that anyone could have just come up with at the time. But yeah, thank you Golden Thing for looking out for those spoilers. So the new intro song, I think in that reaction I was like, oh, I hope they don't change the intro song, because at the midpoints of animes, they'll change the intro song, and sometimes it can change for the better. Or like, not change for the better, but like, we can get a new bop. Other times, you get Fire Force, where the first intro was that was a bop, and then the second intro, at least for me, it was incredibly disappointing. Yeah, so you saw Lagann was the identical power source to Gurren Lagann. They both have Lagann, as you notice. I suppose we don't know for sure if Lagann could have taken over control of Lagann, but Lord Genome self-destructed the arm to prevent it, so it probably would have done something. The song playing is Happily Ever After by Shoko Nakagawa, the same singer who does the opening, Sorairo Days. It plays when Simon defeated Guam for the first time with the Giga Drill break in episode 11. This is a fantastic episode though, and there are many more to come in the rest of the show. That said, this is still a standout episode and one of the best in the show. Also, you can skip episode 16. It clip recaps the type episode. Yeah, I did end up skipping episode 16 just because of the clip and recaps. I did know, I did know that the midpoint of Gurren Lagann 16 was the just like previously on. In case you haven't seen, let's catch you up. But man, I downloaded Happily Ever After. It's so good. I love listening to that, and the opening to the show. The opening is one of my favorite openings of like any anime I've seen. Of all like it's like 60 maybe. That's not a flex. It's just like like a 60-ish, maybe 50 I've seen. I can't pronounce this. Sorairo Days. Definitely one of my favorite openings. It's just a bop. And then Lagann is one of my favorite looking designed gunmen that we've seen on the show. Period. I just love the way it's like sleek black design. It's just so cool looking. And I do wonder what would have happened if Lagann had actually been given the chance to like try and take him over, because just be Lagann versus the Lagann, so it would be a power of wills, but they cancel each other out. Obviously, Lord Genome did not want to take that chance because he kind of blew up his arm, and that's not the only thing he lost. He lost most of his chest and torso. So yeah, wasn't a good day for Lord Genome. Anti-spirals are there. The best anime villain arrived, everyone. High claims, my friend. High claims. Simone is the one who sculpted the huge communist statue by himself. And it's right at the heart. It's right in the heart. Lord Genome's giant gunman is called Dekabutsu. It's not named in the show, but I think some people call it Teplin, or Teplin Gunman exactly for that reason. I do remember hearing like Teplin. I think some people say Teplin within the show. I could be mistaken. Friel has always been honorable. Like when he refused to fight Simone because Hiro Mantra showed up and took Yoko hostage. His whole worldview changed too when Lord Genome told him that beastmen are inferior to humans. Made him immortal and turned him into a simple storyteller. It's not much of a surprise that he felt for the humans who were trying to live underground, and that he would dislike people taking action similar to that of his former king. There's more Viral coming though. Yeah, you weren't kidding about more Viral coming. Viral's character and story throughout the show, it's one of my favorites arcs that we've seen in the show. Just because of where they had Viral and how which direction they took him. Even though I said that I like the classic bad guy, I love that Viral is now on our team and that he's more than the classic bad guy that I thought he was going to be. And when you put it that way, because I was shocked that Viral was helping the human. Like I wasn't like, this is out of character. This isn't Viral. I wasn't like that, but I was like, oh, really, Viral, interesting. He's helping the humans. But yeah, when you put it in that way, he is an honorable. He is an honorable person, so it makes sense that he would help people that are being oppressed the same way, or not oppressed. It makes sense that he help people that he's kind of can relate to, in the sense that like he sees them being treated the same way that he was treated with the former king, and he does like have a jibe for Simone in that episode. It's like, oh, you're no better than Lord Genome, which, yeah, when you put it that way, everything just makes sense for Viral's character in that episode, and where he goes within the rest of the series. Such a good episode. Love this part of the series. We got more backstory on one of my favorites, Lord Genome, which kind of explains what he was doing. He was in our way as a villain, but he was just doing what he could to keep humans safe. Well, I understand the anger toward Rossio. I was the same when I first watched XD. He's just trying to do his best, though. I think it's usual for people to get angry at Rossio at this part of the series. The frustration for Rossio was real. Episode 17 to episode 19 or 20. I think in episode 19, like 17 and 19, I was just very frustrated at him. Like, this is not the way, man. There's just so many ways you could have handled this, and he took it the wrong way. But like, you know, he tried his best, or he was doing what he thought he was doing. And I do talk about it either in this episode or in the next episode more in depth. In next episode's reaction, next week's reaction, I talk about that more in depth when he has his episode. Which, man, Gurren Lagann, the back half of Gurren Lagann, they're all banger episodes. Like, none of them are a snooze fest. It's so good. Rossio was raised in a very practical society. No manly spirit was going to help with their food shortages. This is how Rossio learned to deal with real problems. Even though he's aware of spiral power, he still sees it as a gamble to try and solve their current problem that way. Back when they were rebelling against Lord Genome, the only humans who were in immediate danger were the ones actively rebelling. Those who stayed in the underground villages were basically safe. Now, if they try to rebel against the anti-spirals, everyone dies. I don't want to get into it too much because you still haven't seen the rest of the episode. I just wanted to say something about Rossio because everyone reacts badly to him in a role. Deservedly so. I wanted to provide some of the devil's advocate position though. Yes, Rossio was dissatisfied with his village and it's why he left, but that didn't mean the village's problems were immediately solved. Like the rebellion would eventually remove the need for the 50 population cap if it succeeded, but in the meantime, people in his village were still going to be starving. It's not enough for Simone and Gurren Lagann to destroy the anti-spirals if humanity gets wiped out because of something they did, or if humanity rebels against them. It's also like Rossio is working on different problems compared to Simone. It seems more like Rossio is overstepping rather than being completely wrong. Like there are certain situations where Simone's combat abilities and inspiration might have been better suited, but Rossio was thinking too practical and too safe. I really do agree with these comments, and yeah, I'm glad that people are like doing the devil's advocate for Rossio because it's not like I don't hate him. I still think, like, I say he's a great antagonist, but that doesn't mean villain. He's the antagonist for Simone's story. That doesn't mean he's a bad guy. He's just Rossio is just the one who's in the way of our protagonist, which is Simone. And it's like you feel for him. You feel for them, man. You feel for them. Like, you don't want to see them fight. And you think, like, Rossio is making all these brash, like, kind of bad decisions. Taking Simone out of the fight, trying to commit him to death, which might have been a bit far. But he does have his points. But I don't know. There's a lot to Rossio's political character antagonist that I don't know, it's frustrating to watch him go. And while he does have his points, it's just frustrating to watch him as he kind of goes down this hole, especially like he was with Simone. He was one of the ones that took down Lord Genome. And yeah, you do have a point in that fact. Like, everyone that was underground were safe, and so if Rossio and Simone failed, they would be the only ones that would get hurt. But with the anti-spirals, if they fail to take them down, everyone dies on Earth. But if they don't do anything anyway, everyone dies on Earth. So it's kind of the, we might as well go down dying, or we might as well go down fighting, because Rossio was thinking, let's just escape Earth on, or let's just like try and escape the moon by hiding underground. But if the anti-spirals really want them dead that much, then I'm sure if you somehow manage to survive their lunar orbit destruction, they'll probably come in with more drones and just blow everything up. That's how I saw it. So it's kind of like I said in the comment. I said in my response, Rossio should have made 2 task forces: one to keep everyone safe, and then Simone's task force to get ready on like the retaliation to fight the anti-spirals. That would have probably been the better way to do it. That way, everyone has a chance to survive, and then everyone also has a chance to like beat the anti-spirals in general. TBH, it's pretty fun to see what ideas for the plot you're coming up with. Would make at least an interesting alternate to Gurren Lagann. Speculating on the plot of Gurren Lagann is just so much fun. The show can literally do anything and it will make sense. That's why I love it so much. The show can literally do anything and it will make sense. It's one of the truest statements about Gurren Lagann that I've ever seen. I mean, Spirit of the Hero just nailed it right there. Like, what can't it do? Hello, nice video. Even though I'm never going to see you again, nice start. Like this and you'll become the best viewer ever. Huh? Littner Village was one of the shelters that they were going to use. Presumably, that's why they attacked it. Kinon is the sister helping Rossio. It's okay, I've seen the show like 20 times, and I still have to think to remember which one is which. I'm just terrible with names. It's Kinon, Kion, and Kyo, and Kiton. I think that's their names. Kinon is the one that's helping Rossio, as he said, and like the other two, I can't remember. I think Kyo is the blonde, and Kion is the other one? I need to look at my notes for that. It's like, but yeah, Littner Village. I was a little confused. Like, was that one of the shelters they were going to use, or were they just attacking Littner Village? But yeah, it was one of the shelters. All right, finally caught up. This is episode 20, which released at the time of recording this yesterday. So if your comment in episode 20 doesn't make it in, it'll probably make it into the next one, and I'll explain when the next one of these will be after I read episode 20's comments. I'm glad Kiton survived as well. Over multiple watches, he's grown to be one of my favorites, above Kamina even. Yeah, I could see that. Kiton is just a great character. I mean, yeah. What else could I mean, we've had him either a little longer or about the same amount as Kamina. Because Kamina died pretty early on in the show, and then Kiton's been around since episode 4. At least his character's been around since episode 4. I don't know, like, episode count-wise he's been in. But yeah, I can totally see why you might like him more than Kiton. Personally, alright, comment. Personally, I don't know, I like them both a lot. Yeah. Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know, you know what? Might have to go with Kiton on you with that one. I might have to go with you on that one. I like them both so much, and they're both so similar, but they're also very different as well. So yeah, I don't. They're tied. Great characters. Tied. I love the hype people get when Yoko appears. Yeah, I mean, with that entrance, we haven't seen her since episode 15. So she comes at the tail end of episode 20, and of course they just cut the episode when she appears. Like, what are you gonna expect? Gikajou Maxim is the move you were looking for in the intro. Thank you. That scream when Yoko shows up and the episode cuts. Yeah, like I said, of course she shows up, and then they cut the episode. It's, classic anime. Kiton's shotgun has a more normal gun sound effect. Yoko's gun is powered by electricity and has a distinct electric kind of sound. But it's your first watch, and I've seen it so many times, so it makes sense. They did not explain by what mechanism the moon is falling. You didn't miss anything. There are a lot of answers coming in a couple episodes, like related stuff you've been questioning, trying to figure out. I'm gonna have to re-listen to Yoko's gun in particular, because I was probably just so much in the moment, I didn't even notice the difference in sound effects for the guns. But it definitely probably is there. And yeah, what's coming up, I'm just so excited for you lads to see my reactions to it. So yeah, lads, if you actually didn't skip this chonker part, this is gonna be a video on its own. Jeez Louise, I'm looking at the time. But if you didn't skip this chonker of a part for the Gurren Lagann reaction, well then, good for you. Well, okay, it's either going to be a video on its own or there's going to be a timestamp. I don't know. We'll see how long this actually turns out in editing. But yeah, the rest of the video will show up play now, or just go on to episode 21 now. But the next time I do one of these, it's going to be its own, definitely for sure, it's going to be its own separate video at the end of, it's going to be its own separate video after 27, after the finale reaction is released. So just leave down in the comments on the finale reaction anything you want me to talk about, like, oh, what do you think of Virio's character arc, or you didn't talk about this, I want to know your opinion more on this in depth. So just like leave those comments down below, and then it'll be just like gigantic me responding to your comments, very similar to this, but you guys can actually talk about it in the finale reaction without having to worry about spoiling anything, which I'm just really excited to see what you guys want me to talk about. Like, I feel like there's a lot of stuff in Gurren Lagann that I've missed that you guys want like specific opinions on. So I'm excited for that comment response. But in the meantime, I hope you do enjoy all the reactions coming up that lead up to that. Alright lads, let's get on to the reaction.